So how do you solve that problem? Well, we say client engagement. Our products and services here, it's not like going to a 7-Eleven and deciding if you want Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I mean, you can't have a person, sales rep there kind of going through the benefits of each. These are complex tools, but they do simplify a business or organization's life and the user's life. But to get there, there's some work that has to be done. So to shift that paradox, to overcome that fear and of change, we have to use a lot of education with our clients, and we see that started to chisel away at it. And one of the things that we see at the very beginning, and maybe we've all felt this way as business owners, I certainly did too, even though we were out there selling it, it started to create more fear and anxiety in me, but there's an all or nothing mindset. The all or nothing mindset is, hey, I'm going to get chatbots, they're going to make us rich, I'm going to just be monitoring my business with a pina colada on the boat in the Caribbean with my feet up, getting some sun, because the chatbots are going to take care of it all, right? And that is a real mindset. And that's not just a mindset of the typical user, but we see that mindset in the way, in a more elevated way. But that same mindset of all or nothing is within people that are skilled in technology. We deal with a lot of IT administrators, and they say, okay, I just want to fix this one process. That to me is an all or nothing approach. And as we work through that, what they'll start to see is you fix one process, but then that process speeds up data transformation, speeds up the ability to have another decision-making element, but it clogs up all the areas after the technology is in place. So you kind of have to look at it globally. And so as we probe for answers with our clients, or as you look at this technology for your organization, first thing that we walk the clients through is, what do you want to accomplish here? What's your desire? And what are the processes that you have now? What are the outcomes? How much do the current processes cost you to do? What are the errors in that? And what are the opportunity costs if we freed up that time and eliminated that time? What decisions can you make and how much faster? And what is the errors and how can we reduce those errors? I will tell you that with an auto indexing, where we have a lot of clients that are scanning cases, right? They got to sit there all day, they scan in PDF and they do last name, first name. Okay, that cannot happen in large organizations. What they have to do is take maybe 10,000 cases, put it into a scanner, and it would take 2 or 3 humans probably 6 weeks to get through that indexing. And there'd be a lot of errors, significant number of errors. And I'm talking 28 to 30% errors. With this technology, you can scan the document. It can read the data, black out things that shouldn't be seen, highlight things that should be seen with the original document in place, auto index, auto populate the fields that need to be populated, and it can be done just within a matter of hours. So again, it's powerful technology, and what you do is you free up those other 2 people to do other more important things. So those are the conversations that we have to have, but when you free those 2 people up, what are they doing, right? Do they need more technology? So we're taking our own medicine here, and one of the things that, again, this is how we sort of evolved our use of this technology or desired use of technology. But like a lot of customers, and I'm sure, Dana, you and your team have experienced this, somebody just wants to do social media. It's going to make them rich. They're going to sit on the boat with a pina colada, and Laura, Dana, and her team are just going to push some buttons and go out content, and that's it, right? Or they'll just do email marketing, or they'll just do what we do, which is a lot of outbound calling and proactive relationships to build our lead base. And so we kind of put together some information, just a subset of information, and said, okay, let's just take a look at that. How long does it take for us in a very limited scale to get a sale from each one of these technologies independently? So we say, okay, well, we're going to spend about $15,000 to go to this universe that we have in these markets for this particular product, right? So we're going to bang the market over and over again. We're going to do a lot of frequency. We're going to do a lot of reach. and we're going to do some postings, and we're going to do some communications, and we're going to measure the impressions. And then when we get our leads, we're going to look at what is this lead like versus the ones that we get from actually cold calling. Well, here's what we found. We found that it takes a lot of activity to generate a sale just from the social media or e-commerce is how I refer to it. But the average sale size is actually much higher than our actives from proactive calling. So why is that? I don't know. I mean, I can surmise some things. One is frequent education, right? So ours is an educational sell. Like I said, it's not a Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. It really requires some thought. And there's not as much, competition for drinks. Like in our space, there's just not as much competition in DMS. It's either big companies or smaller companies like ours trying to get into the game. But the velocity of the deal to close is about a year. And for outbound calling, it's about a week. So we have to look at all those numbers, and we sort of evolve the conclusion that we do have more control in our feeling from our business. And while it seems a little bit more costly to do social media, that's scalable. Whereas outbound calling, to get more results, hiring more people is important. You got to train them, you got to coach them, you got to develop them. And so going back to, what is the solution here? It's not an all or nothing. It's an augmentation of technologies.